Coming to you live from the Putasos Podcast.
Oh no! Just slapped him like that!
Alright guys, welcome back. Putasos Podcast, episode number 7. Big Cat's back on the show, familiar face. He's a dual role camera guy and a superstar.
Hi guy, appreciate you having me for the second time, first dual guest here. Even though I've been to every single episode, I'm out here.
Alright guys, we've got a handful of things to talk about today. We'll kind of just breeze through them. So we're going to go over Fury and Ngannou, that's this weekend. And then we also have a couple little, I guess you can call them skits that we're going to do.
Fillers, skits, questionnaires.
Alright, so first thing we're going to talk about is Fury and Ngannou. This is an interesting fight. You have Tyson Fury, who's arguably the best boxer, heavyweight boxer to ever step in the ring. And then you have Ngannou, who took the heavyweight title in the UFC. He took it from the guy that already beat him, which was pretty dope. And then he called skips, so he left. He wasn't getting paid what he thought he was worth, so Tyson Fury said, hey, you want to make some money, come over here. So it's a big fight.
It is a big fight.
The thing about the fight is, like, I'm pretty sure everyone is on the same page as who they think is going to win. I think the bigger question in this whole thing is, what if Ngannou wins? Like, that's the big, topic.
Because Tyson Fury has been knocked down before. He always gets back up, but he has been knocked down by Deontay Wilder.
Yeah.
And I feel like Ngannou's punching power is on a different level.
I feel like Ngannou has the... Bro, did you see that thing that they did? Dana White, the test?
Yeah.
So they had him punch a thing. The force on that punch was equivalent to a Ford Escort going full speed.
I don't know how that even makes sense, though.
I don't know how that makes sense.
Like, it really doesn't. Because, like, imagine getting hit by a Ford Escort going full speed.
I think what they mean is, like,
it's like
point
calculated.
of contact.
Like, maybe it's calculated by, like, yeah, exactly.
To
like,
scale.
how much to scale exactly.
You know what
yeah.
I'm saying? Because obviously getting hit by a Ford Escort,
you're dead. And in Ngannou, you could maybe live. Yeah.
Yeah, but this guy's punching power is, I think, unmatched by anybody that we've probably ever seen in combat sports. But like you said, Fury's been able to take a hit. I think the thing about this fight is everyone knows the game plan for Ngannou.
Knock him out.
It's going for broke. Yeah, you got to go for the
Yeah,
knockout. You're not going to outbox Fury. He's been training with Mike Tyson. So that just honestly solidifies that more for me because, he's just trying to move, get to the inside, and land big shots.
Yeah.
That's pretty much the name of the game on that one.
And you never know what's going to happen. Who knows? Maybe Ngannou will get that shot and knock him out and just beat the best heavyweight boxer of all time and just shock the world.
Okay, so I think Fury's going to beat the shit out of him.
I do too. I love Tyson Fury. He's my favorite boxer.
What if?
Exactly.
So if Ngannou wins, we all know how, it's by knockout. But what's next after that?
For Ngannou?
Yeah.
I think he's going... I just watched him and Joe Rogan's podcast. He's going to the
Rematch?
PFL. Maybe the rematch, but other than that, he has to go back to the PFL because they signed a deal. So he has to fight in the PFL.
Okay. That's probably the tournament too, huh? Do you think he gets an immediate title shot?
Oh, yeah. It's a super fight.
Well, because PFL, they usually have the tournament format.
Yeah.
So you have to go through the tournament to get the belt. But like if you fight the champ during the tournament, you do get the belt.
During the tournament?
Yeah, but it's a tournament
And
style.
it keeps getting handed down if you lose. Like, say some guy has the belt, he loses to this guy takes the belt, then he loses, this guy gets the belt.
Yeah, but either way, it all boils down to the grand finale.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Yeah. So I wonder if they're going to put him through that or they just give him an immediate shot. What was I going to say?
They're going to have to bring on some names because I could not name one PFL fighter.
Yeah, PFL.
Not one, besides Jake Paul.
We talked about this last podcast too, how like the UFC did such a good job by not devaluing their name by doing crossovers and stuff. Mm-hmm. But anyway, that's
besides
here nor
McGregor.
There. Yeah, that's here nor there. But for me, it's like you look at this fight and Ngannou has to go back to PFL, and Fury just booked a fight with Usyk in December.
He did.
So what happens to heavyweight boxing at that point if Ngannou wins and has to go back and fight in PFL? Nothing's validated anymore. They can go fight whoever they want. Even if Fury went and fought Usyk still, that's like it's for the undisputed heavyweight. But it's just not.
It's not. And Ngannou just fully
He would
switches over to boxing.
He would really shake. If I were him, bro, I'd knock that fool out and never step.
I think
foot in the ring
I think
again,
he's
bro.
gonna fight Deontay Wilder too, because that's like Deontay Wilder is known as the biggest puncher in boxing,
That would
even
be
though
sick.
Tyson Fury knocked him out.
That would be sick.
Shout out Tyson Fury. Yeah. I don't know how much more of a story there is than that to this fight. It's either Ngannou wins by knockout or Fury just demolishes him because he's the best fucking heavyweight boxer.
And same old boxing stuff. Like it's one fight. You pay for a whole UFC card. You're gonna watch one main event. There's no other good fights on the card. So
yeah.
So yeah, I mean it's just a typical boxing card. We're gonna go see Fury, super high level striker versus Ngannou, who's just all power, and we'll see what happens. I think
I'm excited to watch it actually though.
Yeah, I'm excited to watch it, but I was definitely more excited for like a Tommy Fury KSI than you know because I really think Ngannou's gonna get like pieced up, bro. But we'll see.
Boxing,
dead.
you guys need to step it up. Boxing,
No, boxing had a good year, bro, but
it did.
I hate the fact that they put one main event on a card. Like, how dope would it be? How dope would it be, bro, if you watched the card and it was Crawford and Spence main event, Ryan Garcia, Gervonta Davis co-main event, and then you have like, you know, even a Devin Haney Loma headliner card with like, you know, just like.
Yeah, like, I feel like
But
they need to make it into fucking one organization, one belt. I feel like that would benefit boxing so much.
Well, it's also an ego thing too, because when you're the guy, you get the bigger check. So, I don't know. Boxing just kind of sucks for that.
Yeah,
reason.
it does.
Boxing would be so much better
If they just had cards like UFC, if it was like UFC.
If
Where it's
they-
not like there's 8 belts for fucking 30 different divisions.
Yeah, bro. If they built their cards like UFC, I would love boxing.
Me too. Me
But-
too. I
but
like
like-
boxing. I like watching the big fights, but it's like you only get a big fight every fucking
And
month. You get one big fight every month, and that's the only good fight on there where you actually know the guy's name.
You know, outside of like Canelo and Crawford, like some guys, like everyone's not that active. Like you see Gervonta Davis fight once a year,
Yeah.
maybe twice if you're lucky.
Tyson was pretty active for a while, but
Fury was pretty active, but yeah,
Was
I
he?
don't know.
Was he? Actually, I don't know.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, he's pretty active. I mean, I feel like I've seen him fight.
I feel like he's
multiple times.
active right now.
But just like we were talking about in the other pod, like active against who? You're fighting the number 3 guy, and there's 4 divisions, so he could possibly be the 12th best guy in the division. So it's like,
And it's like
whatever.
big names won't fight each other. Like Shakur Stevenson versus Devin Haney. That should happen.
Shakur wants to fight everybody, bro.
Yeah, I feel like he's actually probably that guy.
I think he is that
Because
guy.
I think Loma beat Devin Haney. I think that was a robbery.
I think.
Did you watch
that? Yeah, I think Shakur and Gervonta Davis are the 2 best fighters in that weight class.
Are they in the same weight class?
Yep.
Oh, that would be. Oh. Let's do this right now, real quick.
Okay.
Your top 5 favorite boxers.
Top 5 favorite boxers.
No order.
Oh, I can give you my number 1. That's Floyd Money May.
Okay.
That's my favorite fighter.
I was gonna say current.
Current? Okay, current.
Shout out Floyd Mayweather.
Okay, top 5 current boxers. I'm going Haney, and the reason I'm going Haney is probably my number 1 is because of how willing he is to take a big fight.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he didn't have to rematch Kambosos. I think they sent a clause, but he also didn't have to give Loma the shot.
Mm-hmm.
And he's somewhat active, so I like Haney as a champion. I do like watching Gervonta Davis. Full puts people to sleep almost every time. Can't leave out Canelo. Canelo's arguably the best fighter in boxing right now. Tyson Fury, in my opinion, is the most entertaining fighter. And then I don't even know who my 5th would be.
All right.
Give me top 5.
Tyson Fury's got to be in there. Canelo's got to be in there. Tank Davis has got to be in there. 2 more. I'm gonna have to go Shakur Stevenson.
I feel like I haven't seen him fight enough. That's what maybe that's.
I
why-
haven't either.
I think that's why I,
I mean-
probably don't like him as much, is because I feel like I haven't seen him fight enough. I'll say my 5th right now. Ryan Garcia for stepping up and putting shit on the line when the odds were stacked against him.
And then I'm gonna have to go with Fuck.
Fucked up.
Okay, for my fifth, I'm gonna have to go with Terrence Crawford. After that last fight, bro, I didn't know. I've heard his name, but I didn't know who Terrence Crawford was. Much of him, didn't see his fights. But when he beat up Earl Spence Jr., that shit was gnarly. We were watching that at Jason's house?
Yeah.
Yeah, that made me a fan. I know, I was thinking that when you were saying that. I was like, is he going to say Crawford?
No, I should have said Crawford.
Instead of Garcia?
That goes to show
Shout out to Ryan Garcia, too, though. He's exciting.
That goes to show you how good my boxing knowledge is, but...
So transitioning from top favorite boxing fighters to what we actually enjoy a lot more than we enjoy boxing a lot too, but top UFC MMA.
I have mine written down. Do you have yours written down?
I have mine written down as well.
So,
but let's just keep it for reference on the side.
Oh, we can use it. Fuck it.
Okay. Mm-hmm. What do you want to start with?
All right. So first, we'll kind of take it easy.
Let's do this one, the baddest. Let's do that last.
Last, okay.
Last.
Let's do top 5 current. And
then let's do current. We'll go back and forth. So you go first, all 5 of yours, and then I'll go first, all 5 of mine.
All right. So first, we're gonna keep it playful, and then we're gonna get more into I guess you could say the more serious stuff. But the first one we're gonna go over is your top 5 favorite current fighters. So it doesn't really have to be the best fighter or whatever. Just top 5 favorite current fighters. You want to go first or me?
You first.
One by one?
No, go all 5.
All 5? All right. For me, my number 1 is going to be Sean Strickland. I love his personality. The way he beat Izzy was dope. Mm-hmm. And I don't know. I feel like he just pisses people off. So
yeah,
I like Sean Strickland. My second's going to be Sean O'Malley. Sean O'Malley, arguably the most entertaining. Arguably one of the biggest draws in the sport probably ever now.
Seriously. He's going to only get bigger too.
Yeah, so Sean O'Malley's dope. I got Max Holloway. I think Max Holloway, anytime you tune into one of his fights, it's going to be a really good fight, and he's probably going to win unless the guy's name is Volk. Volk. The reason I picked Volk for this one too is I love how active that guy is. And he's always just in the mix. He's always fighting really good people, and he's whooping everyone's ass. So I like Volk, and then Bo Nickel. So for me,
Nickel, that's a good one.
Obviously, I used to wrestle, so Bo Nickel for me is a big one. He's a super good wrestler. I just feel like he can put it all together, bro.
Mm-hmm. I like that.
So those are my.
See, mine are a little more generic at the top, but
Sean O'Malley number 1.
No.
Leon Edwards number 1.
Number 1 for me, top favorite current MMA fighters, Conor McGregor. You can say he's current. He's gonna fight soon.
Bro, he hasn't fought for so. I mean,
he's still. Okay. The thing is, if I said someone like Khabib, who's someone that's not retired, Conor's supposed to fight beginning next year. Conor McGregor, I had to put that as my number 1. Okay. Second one, I'm surprised you didn't have this guy in. John Jones.
I wouldn't say he's like.
See, I feel like yours are most exciting, active right now, boom. But mine were my favorite. I really, John Jones,
Yeah, I think when you look at the rest of my list, you're gonna be like, okay, I see why I placed certain people were.
Number 3, Sean O'Malley. Don't know what to really say about that.
He's exciting.
It's Sean O'Malley.
He's exciting.
Every single fight, he's probably the most exciting fighter.
I'll tell you this right now. I think he would put his ego to the side, but I think the UFC won't co-main event him for a while.
We should have done top 5 exciting as well. I feel like that.
I feel like that's what that was, kind of.
I don't know. Favorite.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Number 4. So my 4th and my 5th are 2 people each because I couldn't decide. Number 4, Colby Covington / Leon Edwards. Whoever wins the fight on December 16th, that's taking the spot for my number 4 favorite fighter.
That's a pretty
Colby
good,
or Leon.
I didn't think of Colby. That's a good
I
one.
loved Colby for a long time, and then Leon, after that head kick knockout versus Usman, he just fucking skyrocketed into my favorite fighter.
That's a good one. Yeah, that's a good one.
And then for my 5th favorite current fighter, it's Jamal Hill
Sweet
or
dreams.
Jerry. or Jiri, because I like both of them. Whoever wins that fight is also taking the spot as my 5th.
Oh, you know what? Hey.
Jiri was exciting, bro.
I want to give a shout out to one person that I completely forgot on this list that would for sure have took one of my spots. Is Kevin Holland, bro.
Kevin Holland.
Kevin Holland's an exciting fighter. He's one of my favorite fighters.
Kevin Holland, yeah.
Yeah, I kind of played myself with that one. Kevin Holland's one of my favorite fighters.
Shout out Kevin Holland.
He
is exciting. We were doing favorite.
Yeah, I probably would have swapped.
We should have done an exciting. Should we throw that at the end? Should we add that at the end?
No, honestly, I think the 2 people I would take out is probably Holloway and Volk and swap that for Colby and Holland. Mm-hmm. But anyway, that's fine.
All right.
Best
5 of all time?
No, let's go top 5 current.
Top 5 current. All right, I'll start it off.
All right. Okay, let's just say it at the same time. I don't even look at this list.
No.
Number one, ready?
No. So my top 5 current UFC fighters. This isn't the UFC pound for pound rankings, but this is my opinion. Number 1, Volkanovski. That's who I gotta be.
Okay.
Volkanovski. Number 2, John Jones, the GOAT. I would put him number 1, like the pound for pound rankings, but he hasn't fought in a while. He's fought one fight versus Cyril Gane. He obviously dominated him, but Cyril Gane has but the takedown defense, there's just levels. And his fight before that was Dominic Reyes, and it was a tough fight for him a little bit, you know? Number 3, Islam Makhachev. Got to throw him in there. He's obviously levels above a lot of people. Number 4, I'm going with my boy, Rocky Leon Edwards. That man really, Usman would have been number 1 if he didn't lose to Rocky. He would have been my number 1 in this.
Really?
Dude, he was dominating everybody. It was one of those, there's times in UFC or MMA where you're like, dude, no one can beat this guy. Like, literally, who is going to beat this guy? You, look at all the top contenders. No one could beat this guy. And then Leon comes in, knocks him out off a head kick with 51 seconds left in the 5th round, beats him again, and it just throws him up there. And my 5th one, even though he just came off of L, is Israel Adesanya. I feel like he's the guy, even though he took an L to Sean Strickland and seemed like he didn't have the recipe to beat him. I feel like he could beat him, and he's been active. He's been beating everybody, and
fair.
Really,
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's a fair list. Yeah. I think my list makes a ton more sense, but all right, here's my list. Top 5 current MMA fighters for me. John Jones. That's the best fighter ever. How are you not going to put him number 1 when he's the best ever and he's active? So for me,
because it was current, that's why I put it.
John Jones. So for me, John Jones number 1. Volk number 2. The reason I like Volk at number 2 is because he's so dominant at featherweight. Like, I don't think there's anyone at featherweight that has even gotten close in the last couple of years.
Not even close. Brian Ortega.
Almost caught submissions, but
he was getting absolutely
he got beat really bad. So Volk number 2. Then he was so close to Islam that you could just argue he's pound for pound number 1. Islam number 3. So for me, Islam's number 3. He beat Charles Oliveira pretty easy, and I think that when you see Gaethje and the other guys step up against him, I think that you're gonna see a very similar thing.
Yeah.
So I got Islam number 3. Rocky Edwards number 4.
My boy. I didn't think you were gonna throw him in there.
If you beat Usman twice, you're that guy. Nobody beats Usman. Period. You know what I'm saying?
And beat him twice.
Not let alone beat him twice. So plus
and by decision.
Yeah, that's what did it for me. Is the first one was knockout, and you're like, damn.
He was getting dominated.
The second one, when he outclassed him, I was like, damn, bro.
He's that was good. Yeah.
And then for me, number 5, Max Holloway. And the reason why is because when you look at any quote-unquote gatekeeper that's ever been in history, if Volk did not exist...
It's like if John Jones wasn't there when DC was on his scene.
Almost like that, and then even Dana White says, well, if Kamaru Usman didn't exist, Colby Covington would be champ. But, there's no...
Even more than that.
Even more than that.
Every person that comes up in the featherweight division that's trying to fight Volkanovski gets absolutely destroyed
by
Max Holloway.
And it's funny because you see Volk, he's like, he told Topuria, he's like, whatever you do, don't fight Max. Don't fight Max. It's going to ruin this whole fight.
Yeah.
So, Max Holloway for me is number 5. And that says a lot because he's the only not champ in that whole thing. So, who's the GOAT for you at each weight class?
All time?
All time.
All right.
All time. Do you want to go first or second?
I just went first. You go.
All right. So for me, flyweight, Mighty Mouse. Mighty Mouse is the best flyweight ever. Probably one of the best fighters ever.
Can't argue.
At bantamweight, I got TJ Dillashaw because I think he had the most defenses or super close with Dom Cruz. But I think he beat Dom. But anyway, he was just, I feel like what his reign was against better fighters.
Mm-hmm.
So I think just for that reason, I got TJ Dillashaw. At 45, I got Volk. Volk's the most dominant champion, arguably in history, outside of John Jones. So I just think Volk's the best featherweight.
Yeah.
Easy. 55, I got Khabib. Khabib never lost, so how are you gonna say he's second to anyone at that weight?
Yeah.
So 70 GSP, that one is pretty clear to me. Yes, Usman can maybe be put in that mix, but for me, GSP is a clear-cut answer. 85, this one was the tough one for me, bro. I think everyone knows the top 2 at 85 is Silva and Izzy.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, just because Silva has a direct L to Izzy, even though you can say he was older, whatever, for me, I got Izzy as my GOAT for 85. 205 Jones, and I don't even have to explain that one. Heavyweight Stipe. So
all right,
we'll see in November if Jones wins. Then
yeah, exactly.
But so for right now, I got Stipe.
Top fighters of all time, each weight division. What's crazy is there was only one that's different in ours.
Really?
Yeah.
And it's Silva. Huh?
No, I'll say right now, but
it's gonna be.
Also, what I was gonna say is if John Jones wins, then he's I'm gonna go. I guess I'll just start from the top. Number 1, Demetrius Johnson. Obviously. Number 2, this is the one that was different for bantamweight. Dominic Cruz.
I knew it. Dang it.
Dominic Cruz, number 1 bantamweight of all time for me.
And it's kind of hard. It's kind of hard for me to argue my point because Dominic Cruz has a direct W.
Yeah, exactly.
Which was my whole point with Izzy and Silva.
Uh-huh.
So.
Yeah, but
yeah,
all the
fair.
way down.
That's fair.
I don't want to sound redundant, so it's Volk, Khabib, GSP, Izzy, Jones, Stipe. If John Jones wins, it'll only be his second heavyweight dub, but you can't argue.
Yeah,
it's John Jones.
Yeah,
he's the number 1 of all time.
That's solid.
So transitioning from that, I
goats.
guess we go to our GOATs.
The GOATs.
All
right.
I'll start it off, or you want to?
Yeah, go for it.
Obviously, number 1, John Jones. If you don't pick John Jones as your GOAT, then I just have no idea. You must not know anything. Number 2 is Demetrius Johnson. A lot of people sleep on Demetrius Johnson if you haven't been following the sport for a long time. But he was literally that guy, and he's always been that guy. He just didn't have a draw because the division didn't have that much publicity. Is back most of UFC didn't. Besides light heavyweight was huge back then. There were huge fighters back then, but compared to now, it's just so much more popular. There's so much more eyes on the sport.
And just kind of build on that, the only reason it wasn't popular is because he was beating everybody so bad.
Yeah.
It's popular now because Moreno and Figueiredo had good fights, but they're still lower level fighters than...
Demetrius Johnson could come right now and still just steamroll everybody after years and years of dominating. Number 3, I got GSP. He's been one of my favorite fighters of all time. Anytime I played UFC games, I would beat GSP. He was my favorite fighter for a very long time. Number 4, best fighters of all time. It's Habib. It's Habib. Yeah, I put Habib. I'm not the biggest Habib fan just because he steamrolled my dog McGregor, but you gotta give credit where credit's due. Habib's the guy. And number 5, this one's a toss-up because I think that not a lot of people are gonna agree. They're probably gonna think someone, Anderson Silva, DC, someone like them should be there. But I'm going with the first double champ of all time, Conor McGregor.
I knew you were going to
I could not throw Conor McGregor in the top 5 of all time. His run, you know.
All right, I get it.
Yeah.
So, I did my top 5, but I also did some honorable mentions, and we'll talk about the end of that too. So, for me, number 1, John Jones. For me, number 2, GSP. And here's why I picked GSP over Mighty Mouse. GSP has 2 losses on his record. Mm-hmm. Both L's he avenged. Mm-hmm. Mighty Mouse has not done the same.
What are Mighty Mouse's L's? He lost to
Dominic Cruz, Henry Cejudo, Adrian Moraes.
Okay.
So he
He beat
Cejudo first.
He beat Cejudo, yeah.
He avenged Moraes. Mm-hmm. He got ragdolled by Dominic Cruz. So for me, I know it's petty because it was early on in his career, but for me, I have to put GSP first because not only did he avenge those losses early on, he also got a second belt.
He did, yeah.
So for me, GSP. 3, Mighty Mouse. like you said, people sleep on Mighty Mouse. He's probably one of the most skilled fighters to ever live, and just because you have to be when you're a small guy. 4, Khabib. Lightweight GOAT, and then just never lost. So even though he retired young, I think that if he had continued on, look at the people that Islam's fought. I think Khabib would have done it. Not only that, he would have done it better.
To all of them, yeah.
To all of them. 5, Silva. And for me, the reason it's Silva, and it's kind of contradicting to my last one because I put Izzy as the middleweight GOAT. But for me, Silva, because not only did he revolutionize the sport, but he was like generations ahead, or he was ahead of his time. Mm-hmm. So Izzy's ahead of his time too, but like, kinda.
Yeah.
Like Silva was way ahead of his time.
Yeah, for sure.
So for me, like he was just a bigger pioneer in the sport. But some honorable mentions that I had in there: DC double champ. If John Jones didn't exist, he might arguably be the best fighter ever. Mm-hmm. Usman, without Leon, he would be still on a tear. Volk. He is on the tear currently. So I think by the end of Volk's career, he's swapping one. Volk's going to enter the top 3, bro.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Anyway. And then McGregor. Double champ, set the tone. He's that guy.
All right. So, cheers. Cheers to this one. You're going to start this one off. Top 5 baddest MMA fighters of all time. This is females.
All right.
Let's see how it goes.
So this one for me, I had a really, really tough time ranking it. So I have my top 5, but you can kind of be, I guess you don't have to take the order too seriously.
Yeah.
Okay. Tracy Cortez, one of the baddest fighters ever.
Okay.
All right. Mackenzie Dern. Mackenzie Dern's sexy. Rachel Ostrovich. You know who that is?
Let me see. Rachel
Ostrovich.
Oh, I do know who it is.
Yeah, put her on the camera. Michelle Watterson. And Shevchenko. But not the one that you're thinking.
Antonia?
Her sister.
Really?
Yeah, her sister, bro. Yeah, her sister. So...
Is that 5?
That's my 5. That's my top 5. I probably could have thought of better ones. Mm-hmm. But for me, when I thought like off the top of my head, those are my top 5.
All right. I got top 5. There's some honorable mentions in there because it's hard to decide. When I wrote this out, I said top 5 baddest MMA fighters of all time.
Okay. If it's MMA fighters, that opens up a whole different door. You put UFC in the text message.
No, I didn't. I put fighters.
Well, that changes.
Okay, okay. It only changes one fighter for mine, and that's mine.
Like 3. I can already tell your number 1. Can I say it?
Yeah.
Valerie Loretta.
Okay, so yeah, we'll go to the top UFC fighters of all time by Valerie Loretta. All right, number 1 baddest MMA fighter for me, Ariane Lipski.
No idea who that is. Ariane Lipski?
I thought it was Ariana.
Let me see. She's in the UFC.
Did I unfollow her? I unfollowed her. Yeah.
Oh, wow. She's like really pretty.
Yeah. So I'm a big fan of her. Fuck, why are you pulling that up?
She's so symmetrical. That shit's crazy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, let me fly on because I got some sleep. Number 2, Mackenzie Dern. It's Mackenzie. She's
up
so
there, bro.
pretty.
She's pretty, bro.
Yeah, she's pretty thick.
Acting like a tato when she broke up with her man.
Number 3, Polyana Viana.
Why does that sound so familiar?
Because I showed you her last time. Number 4 of the UFC fighters, Tracy Cortez. Not much need to say there. Number 5, Ronda Rousey.
I thought you were gonna say like Paige Van Zandt or something.
No, I'm gonna put Paige in there. Honorable mention, Paige
Ronda
Van Zandt.
Rousey, bro? I could think of like, I don't know.
It's all opinion though, you know? It's all in the eyes of the beholder. And honorable mention number 6, Jessica Rose Clark.
You're tripping balls,
Tatted
bro.
up?
That's the best picture you could have found of her.
No, look, go to her Instagram, bro.
Oh, she has an OnlyFans, huh?
I think she does.
She does, bro. I remember because she got cut and went to bare knuckle.
She did, yeah.
Yeah, she has an OnlyFans. Not that I follow it or anything.
I can't find her. Oh, is that Rose Clark?
Alright, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate you guys as always. Big Cat, thanks for coming out again.
Of course.
Appreciate you guys.
Glad to be here. Happy to be here.
Putasos Podcast, episode number 7. Tune in, like, follow. I think we have pretty much almost every platform going now. Almost. I'm working on a TikTok, but we have Instagram. Instagram and YouTube are our big ones.
Spotify and Apple Music, we got to get it on there as well.
Yeah, but for now, if you guys can follow us on YouTube and Instagram, we'd appreciate it. Like, share, subscribe. Putasos Podcast.
We're out.